Randy Lanigan, Lindy Canada Inc., 32 years driving, over 4 million accident and violation-free driving. Randy met me in the hallway when Randy was hired at Lindy 32 years ago. 4 million accident-free violations. My dad did the road test. We asked that the class of 20 stay on stage. Too late. As a class of 20, Shelley screwed that up. We ask that the class of 2020 please stay on stage as a class of 2021 is introduced, and we'll also join you on stage. Please, Shelley, please join us back on stage. Thank you, Shelley. 2021 Hall of Fame for professional drivers. Jeff Edmonston, Coca-Cola Canada, Bottling Limited, 23 years, over 1.7 million accident violation-free driving. Randy Packham, CPC Logistics Canada, assigned to the John Deere fleet, 29 years driving, over 5.7 million accident and violation-free driving. And Stephen Wilson of Lindy Canada Inc., 42 years driving, over 5.6 million accident violations. My dad do your road test too? Good thing he didn't teach me how to drive. Will you please stand and join me in recognizing our Hall of Fame drivers from the class of 2020. Jim's driving career spans 41 years, all of which has been with Air Liquide. During this time, Jim has amassed over 3.8 million kilometers of accident-free driving. Jim began at Air Liquide in 1973 as a shipper-receiver in their London, Ontario plant. In 1997, he decided he wanted to move into the driving field and became a backup driver, transporting cylinders and bulk liquid oxygen. He transferred into this role full-time in 1981, hauling bulk carbide dioxide and liquid propane. In 2003, the plant moved to Courtright, and Jim followed the company. In 2018, the Courtright plant shut down and moved to Aylmer, where Jim once again followed. Jim's dedication to the company was demonstrated and appreciated during these times. Jim has exhibited an I didn't have any beers. Matt, you said to have at least 4. Exemplary safety record over the years and demonstrated this time and time again. Jim is very active in local sporting community. He's been involved in minor hockey as a coach and a scout for a number of years, as well as teaching skills to local youth. Jim is also highly involved in softball and participated nationally in many events over the years. After 49 years at Air Liquide, 41 as a driver, Jim has announced he will retire in 2022. Congratulations on an amazing career. Our next inductee is Brian Smith from Sharp Transportation System, Inc. Brian's driving career spans 45 years, 14 of which included the last 5 having been with Sharp Transportation. During this time, Brian has amassed 4.5 million kilometers of accident-free driving. Brian started in the industry at the age of 17, working for a moving company in Ottawa. He started out driving a 26-foot straight truck, graduating to a 32-footer before moving on to a day cab tractor, hooked onto a 36-foot trailer running from Winnipeg to the Maritimes. Brian became an owner-operator in 1985. He has drove company trucks in the moving business for 32 years. He has also hauled equipment for TV sports industry, moving equipment for broadcasting, junior and college football, baseball, soccer, and in the U.S. Brian did retire a few years ago, but came back after only a couple months. Brian is always the first to stop and help travelers in trouble on the side of the road, helping change tires and other repairs when needed, and ensure if someone is stranded, that help is on the way. Brian says there's no relaxation when driving. If you want to be a safe driver, the phone needs to be put out of reach, as well as any other distractions. Brian is on the road for 3 to 5 weeks before going home to Gatineau, Quebec, to spend time with his wife of 25 years. The two ran the road together for many years in the past. Brian has 2 children, 6 grandchildren, and 2 great-grandchildren. Brian and his family are currently making plans to take in a family from Ukraine to assist with the aid and relocation, a truly selfless act. Let's now watch a video detailing some of Brian's career and life. What an awesome video. Can we get that so we can put that up on all the links when we're recruiting people into this industry? What a phenomenal representative. Thank you. Our next inductee is Bernard Jenkins from Lindy Canada Incorporated. I'll ask Bernie and his wife Christine to please come forward. I love it when the spouses and partners come here. Such a big part of the team. Bernie's driving career spans 46 years, the last 17 of which have been at Lindy Canada. During this time, Bernie has amassed 4.89 kilometers of accident-free driving. Bernie unofficially began his driving career at age 12, when his uncle would put his 10-ton straight truck in low gear and tell Bernie just to steer it straight down the field while they picked tomatoes at the farm. In 1976, at the age of 18, Bernie officially started his career at BP Petro-Canada. In the late 70s, BP noticed Bernie's expertise in hauling and handling dangerous goods, and Bernie was given the role of driver trainer. In the 80s, Bernie spent a few years working for Zavitz Brothers Transport as a driver trainer and then as an owner-operator. As an owner-operator, Bernie moved on to work for Bulk Systems. While there, he also trained new employees and acted as a union rep for the owner-operators. In the 90s, he signed on with Sundown Tank Lines as their first owner-operator. He was also given the role to train new employees along with his regular driving duties. In 2005, Bernie sold his truck and began working for Lindy Canada. In 2007, Lindy asked Bernie to take on the role as driver champion, which evolved into not only training new drivers, but also assisting local management on various operational tasks. In 2010, Lindy asked Bernie to oversee a new hub in St. Catharines. Bernie would continue his regular driving and also provide help to develop the new location, which he is still doing to this day as a driver champion, as well as formal driver training for the entire region. On the personal side, Bernie is happily married to Christine and is a proud father of 5 children and a grandfather of 3. Bernie is active in his community and is involved in many charities and part of the guest service team at the Central Community Church, serving the Niagara region. Now let's watch this video detailing Bernie's career. Congratulations. Our next inductee is Bill Walker of Wellington Group of Companies. Can I please have Bill and Joyce join us up here on stage? Bill began his driving career in 1967 hauling vegetables for his uncle. Over the past 55 years, Bill has driven all over North America, amassing over 5 million kilometers of accident-free driving. After 10 years working for his Uncle Bill, worked a few years for Ken Hartley before buying his own tractor and going to work for CNS out of Leamington. After a few years there, CNS went out of business and Bill moved his truck over to Maurice Transport out of Wheatley. While there, a substitute driver ended up getting in a wreck and the truck was rode off. Bill then moved to Great Lakes Trucking and later sold to Ken Atkinson when he was a company driver for 19 years. Bill has worked at Wellington Motor Freight since 2019. Bill's work ethic, personality, and safety-first attitude were commended by his past employers and co-workers. When dispatch would check in with Bill for the day, he always knew what he had to do, never complained about it, and just goes about doing his work. Bill is described as a very conscientious worker with a great personality and a safety-first attitude. Bill works well with his fellow employees and is eager to share his knowledge. When new drivers start at Wellington, Bill shows them the ropes and keeps a watchful and helpful eye on them for the first while. As a driver indicated who wrote in to tell us just how helpful Bill is. When COVID hit, Bill's workload actually increased as he delivered frozen vegetables for Wellington's many dedicated customers. Bill was putting in more hours than many drivers half his age and had no issues handling this workload. On a personal level, as part of a Christmas charity drive, Bill and his wife Joyce spearheaded a campaign to bring Christmas flowers and decorations to a publicly funded retirement home that has been ravaged by COVID earlier in the year. Bill and his wife also volunteered at the same church for over 55 years. Bill is described as an honest man who works hard and believes in putting forth his best effort at all times. While being safe and always thinking of others, please join me in watching a video that tells us a little more about Bill and his life. Can we get all of the inductees and their partners, spouses back up here, please? Take a minute. I gotta tell this story. I'm off script, Mike, I'm sorry, but I got permission to tell it. I went and introduced myself to Bill and Joyce. They were sitting near a table. I just wanted to congratulate him, and Bill and I started shooting the breeze. And he said, "Well, Kim, let me tell you something." Well, the first thing Joyce told me was, "I'm not going to marry a trucker." I think you made a pretty good choice. What an amazing group. Would you please all stand and join me in welcoming the 2022 inductees, Jim Burrows, Brian Smith,